Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? Well, the answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. When I started using Anchor to do my podcast, it was so extremely easy that I haven't even bothered to look for another app to use. I love this app. It's the only one I deal with, the only one I even recommend, period. I recommend you get on there ASAP. If you want to start a podcast, this is definitely the place to go. It's easy. You can drive around and record. You can sit in your basement and record. You can do it anywhere. It's fantastic. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Adam Rich from the Really Rich Podcast. And today, listen, I wanted to talk to you about financial wisdom. And this isn't like I'm some billionaire wanting to talk to you about how to make $1 billion. I don't want you to buy my online course or any dumb shit like that. I purely just want to help people get their finances in order because I know how awful it is when you live paycheck to paycheck, living beyond your means, buying all this cool shit and then wondering where your next paycheck is going to come from or how much you're going to get or if you're even going to be able to put gas in your car or if you're even going to make it. And it's sad for me to watch so many people get themselves into a hole that they just cannot get out of. And the only two options is either to learn from those mistakes and save up enough money to pay off all your debt and get yourself out of it, or just file for bankruptcy and just start all over. Fuck your credit all up, start over with nothing. And it's just, dude, I don't understand when people are going to get this, man. I kind of blame the school system because when I was I don't know how it is today as far as that goes, but I know when I was in high school, nobody taught me shit about saving money, about spending properly, about, balancing a checkbook or anything, like budgeting your money. Nobody taught me any of that shit in school. I was lucky. I had my mom and dad, and my dad, especially my dad, was very, very, very financially brilliant. He never had millions or billions of dollars. He just he's the king of making his money, like stretching his money, buying smart shit instead of buying a lot of shit. Because here's what happens. So many people, you may be one of them, maybe you're not, but there's so many people that will spend and buy all this stuff that they think they can afford just because currently the money just happens to be in their account. But when you buy things with the where it costs money like weekly or monthly or whatever, when you have a bill that you're paying for, just because you have the money today doesn't mean you're going to have it tomorrow or the next month or next year. And especially when it comes to like homes or cars, because this is multi-years that you're paying on these things, and just because you have the money today doesn't mean that in 5 years or 10 years, you're going to still be able to pay for that. And the thought, of course, that we all go through is that, oh, well, if I have this kind of money today, I can't wait to see how much money I'll have in 5 years or 10 years. I'll have way more money. That's if you're very smart and you manage your money properly. However, about 90% of the population does not do that. You know how many people have made it big, made millions, whether it be in entertainment, music, acting, whatever, and then they go fucking broke? You know how many people do that shit? T.O. had Terrell Owens, the famous football player, wide receiver, the dude had $70 million that he blew through and went broke. and then had to do other shit to make more money again. And God bless him that he had that kind of talent on the football field that allowed him the opportunity to go broke and then just be able to like sign a contract to go do like a shoe deal or a commercial, and then you can make money again. Like, that's all it really takes when you're already that famous. But let's be honest, most of us aren't. Most of us aren't living like that. So when we blow our money on dumbass shit that we don't need, it can be devastating long term. And it might not be. Maybe, like, all I'm trying to really get at today is, people, if you're not saving money, if you're not actively every single week taking some of your money and putting it away, I think it's horrible. I think it's an awful idea for yourself, not for me. I don't care. It doesn't affect me at all. I'm saying for you, for your long-term benefit, you should be saving money for you. You don't know when things are just going to happen. Listen, I don't care how great you think your job is. If you work at a place, if you're not the owner of a place, even if you are, but if you work at a job, you have no idea the long-term state of that company. You have no idea whether they're going to outsource next year, if they're going to start going through a tough time for the next couple of years, and then all of a sudden be like, you know what, let's just sell the place. A place can go out of business. I had a friend work at Max and Irma's, and then one day showed up to Max and Irma's to open up the place to pay, or like, you know, to work, and there was nobody in the parking lot was closed, the doors were locked, nobody was there, and there was a note on the door saying, "Sorry, we are no longer in service." And he didn't even know. The guy worked there, and he had no idea that they were closing. And then what's this guy supposed to do? Now he's got to go out and like find something last minute. People have bills. If you have a house payment, a car payment, any of this, a cell phone bill, insurance, anything, and you show up to work one day and that work is closed, what are you going to do? Are you able to handle it? Are you financially set enough to be able to survive for a while with nothing? Because I think you should always have a little safety net of, if I lost my job today, could I survive for 3 to 6 months with nothing, with no money coming in, just living off of what I have? And if you can't, and listen, that's honestly being very, very like conservative about how long you should be able to make it without a job. If you're just starting out, you're 15, 16, 17 years old, and you just got your first job, I don't expect you to feel like to be financially set like that. But if you're 25, 30, 40 years old, there is no reason you shouldn't have a good enough little goose egg to lay on that if the worst shit happened, your car blows up, your house burns down, your job goes out of business, if you can't work for the next year, are you going to be all right? And let's be honest, most of you are saying no. Most of you, if you're being honest, are saying no. Some of you may think, oh, well, I'll just get a job the next day. Okay, maybe you will. But maybe you won't. And so my point is, if your job shut down today, you should try to go get a job the very next day, that same day. If you show up to work this morning and your job is fucking done, it's closed down, out of business, you now need another job, I would spend those next 8 to 12 hours, whatever the fuck you were supposed to work that day, I would spend that looking for a new job. That's the smart thing to do. Let's be honest, most of us ain't going to do that. It's just the truth. Most people are not going to do that. But the reason why it is so incredibly important is because if you're doing well, what happens to a lot of us is we just start living like we're ballers. We all love to ball. We all love to just spend. We all love to buy shit. We all do. Listen, I consider myself very, very financially wise when it comes to saving money, not blowing it on stupid shit, buying what I need, not what I want, but also enjoying my money. Like, I buy some stuff that I don't need, of course, but I never put myself in a financial burden. I never put myself in a place where I'm fucking worried about money because of it. Because when you start buying a bunch of stuff that you don't need just because you think it's cool, or you just want another one, or listen, most people, honestly, the reason why they buy so much cool shit instead of saving their money is because they want to quote unquote flex on people. They want to look like they have more than they do, or they want to look better to other people, mostly strangers. Like when people buy a new car that they don't need just because they want to have a nice car or just because they want to have a new car, listen, if your car sucks, if it's falling apart, or if it's like you really got to worry about whether or not it can get you to work, then buy a new fucking car. I get it. I'm not telling you to never buy anything. What I'm saying is people relentlessly will buy fucking, you know how much of a waste of money, and I hope I'm not like offending anyone by this. It shouldn't be offensive. It's just reality. You know how stupid it is to buy a fuckload of jewelry? Like if you really, really love wearing a fucking necklace and earrings and a bracelet or a watch, that's fine, do that, but don't buy 7 chains and 15 different pairs of earrings and 3 or 4 different watches. Or like, why? You're only going to wear one of them. You don't need one with each outfit. And on top of that, like, it kills me. Like, I see so many people buying, like, clothes and shoes and hats and all this, like, all these fucking accessories that match. And here's my thought on it. If you genuinely, like, love that shit, like, that's one of your favorite things ever is to do that stuff, then don't stop doing that. I'm not criticizing people that do that. What I'm criticizing is people that don't even really care about that shit doing it. Like, if it's not your absolute passion to have 500 outfits that all like different matching shoes and hats and jerseys and all this shit, if it's not your absolute, like, one of your top 3 loves, why are you doing it? Ask yourself that, because the real fucking honest answer is because you're trying to look good. You're trying to, when you want to buy 70 pairs of Jordans and like 17 hats, like one that's a different color for each fucking outfit, all you're doing it is for looks. You're doing it for look. You're not doing it for comfort. You're not doing it because you're cold. You're not buying all these clothes to warm up because you're cold out. You know what I mean? Like, ask yourself, why really are you buying this shit? Are you buying it to look good for other people? Are you buying it because if you say, hey man, I got the new Jordans, you're going to have 3 friends be like, damn, I wish I had those. Is that why you're buying it? Because if you are, that's a stupid fucking reason. And I have no problem telling you that. I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying the reason for doing that is a dumb reason. It is. Because you're putting yourself in a position where if you have to worry about whether or not you can pay your bills or put food on your plate or gas in your car or have a fucking roof over your head or anything, like, you're in a bad place. And I'm tired. I'm not saying it like to be mean. I'm saying it because I want to help the people that are doing this so you can get out of this shitty debt, so you can stop living living paycheck to paycheck, worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to afford to fucking live in the house you're in a month from now. It's just not good, people. And it's sad to me to see so many people there's so many people that just don't know this stuff. So many people are taught to believe, shit, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to make all this money so I can buy all this cool shit. And the reality is, like, do you need a mansion when you can have a house? Like, I'm going to lay this shit out for you as plainly as I can about the difference. The reason why I'm so extremely happy in life without having tons of fucking money is because the things that I care about in life aren't financially based. Like I'll explain it. I'm pumped that I have a home. I'm not pumped that I have a house. I do have a house. I'm going to tell you the things that I have, but I'm going to tell you why I love it. It has nothing to do with the financial side. I love having a home, meaning I have shelter, meaning I have a roof over my wife's and my daughter's head. I don't give a fuck if it's a house, an apartment, a mansion, a trailer. I don't care. I don't care if it's living at my mom and dad's house or living in their basement, right? Like, I would prefer to not do that. But the point is, if I needed to do that, I would do that. I'm happy because I have a vehicle. I drive a truck. but my truck isn't a brand new fancy truck. It's a 2011, which isn't that old, I guess. It's still 9 fucking years old, but it's got 50,000 miles on it. If I'm being honest, it's got 50,024 miles. That's exactly what it has on it right now. I'm looking at it because I'm fucking driving and looking at it. I mean, I'm looking at the road, but I see it, you know? And so the point is, though, I'm not thrilled that I have this specific truck. I'm thrilled that I have a vehicle. And the difference is this: they both cost money, but the practicality of having a vehicle that gets me to and from work, gets me to the grocery store to get food when I need it, gets me to the gas station to go fill up gas. That is why I'm happy about having a vehicle. I don't give a fuck if it's a 2021 Mercedes or if it's a 2010 fucking Chevy Cobalt. I don't care, as long as I'm not wasting every dime I have. Like, this truck's paid off, so don't get it twisted. It's not like I'm making these big payments on it and shit. I paid it off. I was making payments on it. It's paid off now. So I could, now that I'm saving that money of you know, from what I was paying, now that I'm saving that money, I could go buy a new truck and then have another payment. Or, since this vehicle only has 50,000 miles on it and it's paid off, I could just keep driving that and save my fucking money. And that's what I'm doing. I'm glad that I have a home. I'm not glad that it's a house. I mean, I'm not miserable that it's a house. I love that it's a house. But my point is, what it is far less important to me than what purpose it serves and how it can help me. It's practical to have a home to go to. You don't need to have the biggest house. It's practical to have a vehicle that gets me around. You don't need to have the nicest, fanciest, new, most expensive fucking car. It's practical to put food in your plate, to put food in your belly, not go out to the fanciest fucking restaurant there is every week. It's, if you have the extra money to do these things and it doesn't set you back, it doesn't put you behind in any way, shape, or form, you can still pay all your bills, you're still living good, you're still happy, then by all means, spend it however the F you want. I'm just trying to help you not be in a hole. I just want to help you get out of a fucking hole. Listen, if you have an extremely expensive house payment and you are just like, you just can't find a way to get ahead, the smart thing to do would be to get rid of that house and move into something smaller so you can save some money, so you can really get yourself ahead. And then when you save up enough money, you can buy a much bigger fucking house once you've saved enough. But what we do is we get a little extra change in the pocket. A lot of us, not all of us, we get a little extra change in the pocket. And the first thought is, damn, what can I spend this on? That's what we do. That's what, most people. I don't do that because luckily I was taught, my parents, like I said, I got lucky. Not everyone was that lucky. And what I'm trying to do is take all the little pieces of wisdom that I've learned over the years from other people. I don't like taking credit for this. It's not like I'm some brilliant guru who's the man and y'all should listen to me because I'm so awesome. No, I've listened to people I've watched succeed. And I listen to them and I implement success from others into my own life because I've always been obsessed with watching excellence in whatever field it is. Doesn't matter if it's cooking, sports, fucking hard work. It doesn't matter what it is. Business, ownership, I don't care. Whenever somebody is excellent at what they do, I want to know why. I don't just ask, who is it? I ask, why are they so fucking good? What got them there? What made them so damn good? What made them so smart? What steps did they take to do what they're doing, to get where they're at? And listen, the reason why I do that is because it's not like I watch guys like Gordon Ramsay. He's a phenomenal chef. And I watch Tiger Woods, phenomenal golfer. I watch LeBron. Hate him or love him, don't care. He's amazing. And we all know that, whether you hate his guts or not. Same with Kobe. Same with Jordan. I watched these people because they are nothing short of excellent. Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls, went to 9 of them. Bill Belichick, the coach of that team. Like, that's 2 different elements. You either want to be a quarterback or you want to be a coach. Maybe both, maybe neither. I don't care. I just want to watch because I want to see what do the people that are excellent, how do they live their life? What do they do that makes them a cut above the rest. And that is important to me. Because when you watch excellence play out, they all seem to have one thing in common. I'll say two things in common. They work their absolute face off, and they have this extraordinary mental toughness, meaning critics don't faze them, opinions of others don't faze them, failure doesn't faze them, coming up short doesn't faze them. Like any kind of backtracking or failure or negativity coming their way does not ruin them. It makes them work harder. It makes them think harder. It makes them become smarter, wiser, analyze their game or their craft in a different way so they never make those failures again. I fail all the fucking time, but I always try to learn something from it so I don't fail like that again. When I say I fail all the time, it's rare that I fail at the same thing over and over and over. Like I might fail at the same thing 2, 3, 4 times, but it's usually a little bit different how it plays out, and I try to learn from each individual time so I know what the fuck happened this time that was so bad. Why did it lead me to failure instead of success? And I've always done that in a financial way, and here's the best part. It's funny that I'm now in a position to where I can help other people like learn about this, because money has never fucking mattered much to me. And I know people can say that all day. I don't expect any of you to believe me when I say that, but it's just the truth. I don't do what I do because I'm trying to get paid. I don't do what I do because money means everything. I'm going to be as transparent as fuck right now. I drive a 2011 vehicle, a Chevy Colorado, and I live in a 1-story ranch, like 1,100 square foot. I'm not in some massive mansion. And I know a lot of you right now is like, well, wait a minute, you don't even have a lot of fucking, you're driving a car like that and living in a house like that. You're not fucking loaded. Who are you to tell me how to manage money? And I agree that I agree that you're on the right track when you think that way. However, what I am saying is factual. It is practical, and it will help you. Just because I haven't become a multimillionaire doesn't mean that it's not that I'm not capable. I don't give a fuck about those things. I really don't. I've never, listen, if you know me at all, if you've listened to the podcast from day one, if you've just started listening, wherever in between, there is one common theme. I never ask people for anything. I have a Patreon like service that you can pay me for. I've never once asked anybody. I've never done that. I don't ask people for shit. I don't ask for money. I don't ask people to pay my bills. I don't ask for handouts. I don't ask for none of that. Why? Because I don't give a fuck about the money. I want to have enough money to survive and feed my family and take care of them, but I don't give a shit about yachts and mansions and Ferraris and fancy jewelry and fancy shoes. Dude, people that know me, you'll see me. I just rock plain ass hoodies, jeans, and tennis shoes. That's like 90% of my outfits. Like if I'm going somewhere nice, I might wear a nice button up and try to do, let my hair down. But I don't fucking get all fancy because it's not practical. And I'm sure there might be a day. And trust me, you guys, I'm podcasting. The bigger I get or the more I get and all that, you guys, I'm open and honest with you. I'm upfront about everything. I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat stuff. I'm not going to lie to make myself look better or worse to try to give off some fucking character to you guys. I am what I am. I'm being honest. I'm documenting the come up is what I'm doing. You guys know that I live in a small house and I drive a 9-year-old vehicle and that I work at a plastics company. You guys know that I'm not some big shot or anything. You know that I'm not out there selling. Like I could easily make a masterclass thing to sell online and then advertise it and put it all out and try to dupe, I don't want to say saps because we've all fallen for this, but I'm not trying to hustle money out of people. It would be so much easier for me to make money by just giving you a couple little clues, giving you a couple little free hints, and then going, hey, purchase my class to do this. I can fucking do that today if I wanted to. I don't. I never have, and I'm never going to, because it's not who the fuck I am. I care infinitely more about helping people get out of shitty situations and helping people mentally. I want to help people build confidence and self-esteem. That's all I care to do, which is why I have a Patreon thing and I never ask for anybody to put a penny into it. I never do. And I know probably some of you are saying, well, you keep bringing it up. You're probably subliminally trying to get... No, I don't care, dude. Don't ever give me a fucking dime. You have my blessing. That's not why I do what I do. And I think that's why I am super qualified to help people financially, because I know if you guys seen I'm not trying to put my public or my private 401k out there, but if anyone's seen my 401k, you would know that I'm not worried about money. Okay. And at any given time, the 401k money can jump around. It's stocks and stuff like that and all that. I get all that, but I save and save and save. But there's one key thing about saving money that a lot of people that do save will not tell you. And I think this is what I think it is. When you do save money, you should always learn how to spend a little bit of it. Enjoy a little bit of it. But make sure it's something you like. If you want to go on a vacation to a beach or something, you want to go on some nice vacation or a cruise or something, or you just want to go out of town, who gives a fuck where you're going, right? If you want to go on a vacation, don't just go because you have the money. Go because it's a place that you actually give a shit about, that you actually want to go see. Me and my wife, when we went on our honeymoon, we went to San Diego. Now, I don't know anyone in the history of time that has said, I want to go to San Diego for my honeymoon. But here's the deal. Since I was little, I've always wanted to go to San Diego, and I never did. I just never did. And I know that it's beautiful out there. I knew that the weather was great. I knew that there was the beach and the palm trees. I've always loved all of that. I've seen things about San Diego. I've always heard nothing but good things about San Diego. My wife has some family that kind of lives a little bit by there, a little north of there, like an hour or two. But anyway, the point was, we wanted to go somewhere beautiful. We didn't really care whether or not it was in the United States or not. We had already gone on a cruise a year earlier. And we both liked the idea of going to San Diego to see what it was like. And so we agreed, this is where we're going to go for our honeymoon. Now that's most people on earth are like, well, that sounds lame. Okay, well then don't do that. But we did. And we loved it. Now that's what I'm saying. I'm not scared to spend money. I'm not telling you don't spend a dime. I'm not telling you to be a cheap ass. I'm not telling you to be super frugal and like always count every penny and don't ever give anyone shit. What I'm saying is stop blowing it on dumb shit to impress other people you don't even care about. And even if you do care about them, why are you buying shit to make them happy? Why are you buying shit to impress them? They're not living your life. You are. So you need to be a little bit better about what you're spending your money on. And listen, just because I get a bonus check from work, I don't blow all that immediately when I get it. 99.9% of the time I get any kind of money coming in, whether it's birthday money, whether it's whether it's a bonus check or tax returns, not like almost 100% of the time. I save half immediately. I save half, and then the other half I do whatever I want with it. Sometimes I save the half, sometimes I blow the half, sometimes I sporadically spend here and there. The bottom line, though, is that I don't blow it all. Most people would get a bonus or their tax returns or something, and they'd be like, shit, what should I buy with this? Oh, I got $300. What's $300? What can I buy for $300? It's not, oh, I got $300. Maybe I should save $100 or $150, and then I can buy something that's like $200 or $150. Most people don't do that. And you should. Because, dude, even if you saved $10 a week, after you got to the end of the year, you'd have $520. By just saving $10 a week, you don't even notice $10 a week. And I think dude, homeless people could save $10 a week. No, maybe not, but you know what? You get the point. Almost anybody can save $10 a week. And by the end of the week, by the end of the year, that's $520. By the end of the second year, that's over $1,000. So and that's talking bare minimum saving, dude. You're going to get more money than that probably throughout the year, throughout your decade, throughout your life. What I'm saying is even the smallest amount adds up over time, dude. After 2 years, you got $1,000 if you're saving $10 a week. After 10 years, look how much you got. Do the math. It's a lot. It's like $5,000, $5,200 or some shit like that. Yeah. So the point that I'm saying is, though, people, is that even the most minuscule amount of saving can lead to a lot if you just give it time. Just don't look at it. Don't think about it. Like, if you have a direct deposit, you should take a little bit of that money every week and just put it right into an account. Whether it's 401k, savings, stocks, whatever, mutual funds, savings bonds, doesn't matter. Put it somewhere. And don't fucking touch it. Don't go buy shit just because you have more money. Do something positive with it, and maybe you can change your future. You know how many people I've watched that hate their job, but they live paycheck to paycheck? They desperately want to get out of their job, but they can't afford to. Because if they quit, now you got nothing, or maybe you get a new job, but maybe the benefits aren't as good, or maybe you got to pay more money for this, or maybe they're not going to pay you as much an hour, or maybe they're not going to match you in your 401k, or whatever. But you just don't know. So why don't you do something positive with this little extra money? I'm not saying don't enjoy any of it. Spend some of it. You know, take yourself out to a nice meal. Buy a new pair of shoes if that's what you're into. If you are a shoe collector, if that is your thing, you love collecting shoes, then I'm not shitting on you buying new shoes. What I'm saying is there's so many people I know that have like 40 pairs of fucking shoes at their house, and they only wear like 4 of them. The other ones just look nice, and they could go with a certain outfit. Who gives a shit? Like, I just don't understand why people they're so quick and desperate to just blow every penny they have because they think that if they just buy this next thing, it's either going to make them happy or it's going to make other people jealous when they're trying to make those people jealous. But the reality is we're all living our own life. Even if think about this. Say your objective is to make your best friend jealous. And then you buy these new pair of shoes or you buy this new jersey and you make that guy jealous. And he's like, damn, he's got that new shit. How long do you think he's going to be jealous for? You think he's going to live the rest of his life with that eating away at them? No. They're going to look and be like, damn, that's sweet that you have that. Or maybe inside that they're angry that you have it and they don't. But a day goes by and they forgot about it. And now they're on to some other shit. It's just, it doesn't matter. In the long scheme of things, keeping up with the Joneses, aka buying a bunch of shit just so you look like you have more, just to keep up with those other people that have more. Somebody's always going to have more money than you. You're never going to keep up with, no matter what you've bought in the last year, the last 10 years, it's nowhere even fucking close to what Jeff Bezos has, the owner of Amazon, or what Bill Gates has, or what LeBron has. So I don't know who the fuck you are trying to keep up with, but it doesn't matter. Somebody has a lot more than you, and you're not going to match them. So stop trying to compete with people, live your life, pay for shit you care about, save money when you should, so you can better your future. Prepare as if tomorrow you'll have nothing. You'll have no job, no car, no house. What are you going to do? Do you have enough to come out of that? Do you have enough to survive? Do you have enough to get your life back on track in your savings? Or are you going to be fucked? Because I'm in the business of trying to keep people from getting fucked. All right. I'm a cock block, basically, is what I know. I'm just kidding. But that's what I'm saying, man. You got to stop screwing yourself. There's enough people out there that are trying to do it for you. There's enough people going against you. There's enough. Life itself is trying to fuck you. So don't let it. Prepare yourself. Wrap yourself in a condom. Put a barrier over yourself so life can't fuck you. Because things happen. Unexpected shit happens all the time. Are you prepared for the unexpected? Or are you hoping that everything's just going to keep getting better and better and better? And if there's one tiny little backtrack, you're devastated. You don't want that. People, I'm just trying to help you. In fact, for anyone that thinks I'm just out here trying to get money or I'm just trying to take money, anything that you were thinking about giving to me, if you were, or if you think that that's where I'm going, every dime that you're thinking about, that even if you were thinking about giving me anything, every penny of that, put it in your own savings account. Please, don't give me shit. I'm actively telling you, don't give me a fucking penny. Now, how many people you know that are podcasters or business owners or help gurus or motivational speakers or any, how many of them people do you know are actively telling you to take every penny that you might have thought about giving me, put it in your own savings account and take care of yourself? I don't know any of them. So I'm going to be that one. Just help yourself. Take care of yourself. Stop living for other people's fucking approval. Stop. I don't care if the new hottest shit comes out tomorrow. Let somebody else buy that. Let somebody else make other people jealous. And you do something responsible and helpful for yourself and save that fucking money. At least half of it. Save half of it. And spend the other half on whatever the fuck you want. I just want to help you people. Everybody. I want to help you the way that my dad helped me. My dad, even when I was anti-money saving, when I was 14 years old, my dad tried to make me save $10 out of my paycheck, and I almost started crying at 14 fucking years old. Can you believe that? I almost started bawling. I didn't like it. I didn't want to save $10. That's how bad I was back then. I'm 36. That's 22 years ago, dude. 22 years of changing my perspective of how I save. Listen, my dad forced me to save when I didn't want to, and I hated it back then until I started seeing over years, I started seeing that money just pile up more and more and more and more. And then I started realizing, damn, he's onto something. Because if I took the money out, now I got thousands. Because it went from having nothing to then it was hundreds to then it was thousands. And now it's a beautiful thing. Let me just be the first to tell you, I hated when my dad wanted me to save money. Now, I thank him regularly for making me do it when I wasn't ready, when I didn't want to, when I hated the idea of it, because now I actively do it without even thinking about it. I make sure that money comes out of a paycheck and goes right into a savings account. I don't even look at it. And that's just the savings account. I also have money coming out going straight into a 401k account. I also have money going into a checking account. Now, I could take a lot of that money and buy all kinds of cool shit today, but I'm not. Because if, for some reason, I lost my job or my car blew up or my house burned to the ground, I have the money to bail me out if I have to. I hope it never happens. That's not my goal. But it's there if I need it. And when the time comes, when I finally have enough in there to be able to walk away from a job, I'm going to be all in on this shit. And you guys are going to see me a lot. So whoever's paying attention now, hang with me. I promise, because you're coming with me. I'm not going away. I'm going to keep putting this shit out for free for everyone who's willing to take the advice. Anything that you want to, anything, even if you think, man, that advice was so good, dude, I want to give you some money. Please don't. How many fucking people tell you to please don't give them money? Put it into your own account. Anything that you're thinking about giving me, ever, today or in 20 years from now, anything that you're thinking about giving me, please put that shit in your own account. And some people are going to look and be like, dude, this guy's never going to make any money being like that. You're right. I am not in it for the fucking money. I take care of my money. That's the whole point of this episode. I don't ever want to need your money. And I'm hoping that I never get to the point where I need your money. Trust me, if I get to the point where I need your money, I'll be the first one begging you guys for it, okay? If that day ever comes, you'll know what happened. I went bankrupt by being a fucking idiot. And I'm not saying that people that go bankrupt are idiots. All I'm trying to say is, people, please get yourself financially stable. Please gain the financial wisdom. Because there's not much. People live for money. I never have. I always want to be happy. I always want health for me and my family. I always want a home, not a house or a mansion. I always want a vehicle, not a Ferrari or a Mercedes. I always want food on in my belly, keeping me full. It doesn't have to be fucking lobster or steak. I want health. I want happiness. I don't give a fuck about the money. And people, you trust me, it feels epic when you can appreciate what you have instead of worrying about what you need, what you should get to make this fucking guy think like this or make this girl think of you like this. Like girls do it too. I'm not just talking to guys. I'm talking to everybody. Girls do it too. Girls will go out and buy new makeup, a new dress, new outfits. Why do you think girls shop constantly? Because they're constantly trying to look good and buy more and more and more shit. Imagine if you just buckled down. Like, I'm sure you already have nice shit in your closet. If you stop throwing out your old clothes because you've worn them twice, if you have nice shit in your closet, just keep wearing. Guys don't notice. Trust me. Guys are either thinking, damn, she looks good, or damn, she doesn't. They don't care if you wore the same outfit twice or 100 times. They don't care if you have matching nail polish with your toes and your fingers. Guys don't give a fuck what your lipstick or your eyeliner looks like. If you have those things already, then just live off of that and then save the money. Don't go buy a brand new outfit because it's a new event and you got to have a new outfit to go with your new event. Oh shit, I'm going to a wedding. I got to buy me a new dress. What about the other 40 dresses you got in your closet? Like, people, this applies to you. Women, this applies to you too. And I'm not shitting on any of you. Trust me, I'm trying to desperately get the point across that you need to take care of your finances so you're not worried about the future or about what you can buy next. Life ain't about the toys and the items we purchase. It's material shit that gets old. I used to love my Nintendo. That shit is whack as fuck now because it's old. Cool, it's nostalgic to play a Mega Man game for 20 minutes and be like, oh, this is cool. I'm not going to sit down there for 6 hours a day for the next 5 weeks playing Mega Man. It ain't happening. Nintendo got old. Then my Sega got old. Then my PlayStation 1 got old. Then my PlayStation 2, and then 3, and then 4. You're always going to have, like, every day something new is going to come out. You're going to want it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be new. It's going to be the new hottest shit out. And then 10 years from now, you're going to be looking back like, man, remember when that came out? Remember what that was like? And now you don't care about it. Think of, if you're in your 30s, think about your first car you ever owned. Do you still have it? Do you want that one back more than the one you have now? And if you do, you've probably made some bad financial decisions. No, I don't know. It depends on what you had. But the point is, whatever your first car was, it's like, even if it was brand new 20 years ago, now it's a fucking 20-year-old car. You know what I mean? Like, you buy a house. Like, when I first moved into my house, I was like, fuck yeah, this is the best. Now I've been in there 11 years. Yeah, it's been 11 years now. Shit, I didn't even realize. It's been 11 years I've been in this house now. And I love having a home, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't feel the same way about the house itself as I did when I first moved in. But the reason I haven't bought a new one is because this one's perfectly fine, and I don't like being in debt. I don't like owing a ton of fucking money. Now, when I have way more than enough money to just buy a brand new, bigger, nicer house, and it ain't going to set me back at all, that's when I'll do it. But right now, I need to be financially smarter than that. I got a wife and a child to take care of. Their health and the things that they need are infinitely more important to me than having a newer, bigger house. But we get ourselves in this trap all the time. People do this all the time. They're in one house. They're like, fuck, I wish I had a bigger one. What do? They blow all their money. They buy a bigger one. Then they're wondering why they're broke. They do the same shit with cars. They do the same shit with outfits. They do the same shit with vacations sometimes. Sometimes I know people that travel all the fucking time and they're broke as shit. but they just can't stop traveling. Don't put yourself into a position where you could really risk it all just because of your wants and not your needs. That's the final message I got for you guys. Please just be financially smarter with how you're spending, how you're saving. Just pay attention. Don't buy things to impress other people. If you love it, you buy it. Buy it if you love it. Buy it if you need it. Don't buy dumb shit that you just want because you and your boys are talking or you and your girlfriends are talking and you're like, oh yeah, I'd love to have this new blah, 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 blah. I'd love to have it. And so one of you is going to go out and be like, yep, I'm going to go buy it. So that way they all know I'm the first to have it. If that shit's important to you, you are in such bad shape mentally. You've already lost. You can fix it. You can stop doing those things. You can fix the problem. But you got to stop living for other people. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Somebody is always going to have more than you. Material shit. And the bottom line is the material shit doesn't matter. Buy what you need. Save what you can. And live happy. Appreciate what you have. If you have a home, I don't give a fuck if it's a trailer, apartment, mansion, a shed, your parents' basement. It doesn't matter. If you have shelter over your fucking head, if you can sleep out of the elements, that's awesome. Appreciate that because there's a lot of people that don't have that. You know how many homeless people there are just in California, let alone the world? There are a lot of people that don't have shit compared to you. Think about that. Don't think about what you may purchase to make somebody else jealous of. Think about all the people that are already jealous of you because of what you already fucking have. Appreciation is number one. You want to be happy in life? Appreciate more. That's it. Bottom line, dude. That is the number one fucking way to happiness is appreciation. People do not get it. They think, oh, if I just get this new job or if I just get this more money, if I just get this new house, if I just get this new car, then I'll be happy. No, you won't. You're going to have more expensive problems. Or you're going to have newer problems. The reason, like I've said, and I'll say this probably till I die, hopefully, the reason I'm happy is not of what I can purchase or what I have purchased. It's the things in my life that money cannot fucking buy. I have a wonderful wife and a wonderful daughter. They're both healthy. Money has nothing to do with that. Money has nothing to do with them being wonderful or me being grateful that they're a part of my life. Money has nothing to do with me having a home. Money has to do with me having a house, but has nothing to do with having a home. And I am infinitely more satisfied with a home than how big my fucking house is. Or what kind of a house. If I had to move back in with my parents, I hope I don't ever have to. But if I did, I would. And especially if you're behind in money and you know that you can move back in with your parents for a little while to save money and they're happy to have you, they don't care, it's fine, and you can save and get yourself ahead, you should be doing that. But so many people are like, no, it's not going to look good. Girls don't like when you live with your parents. Girls don't like, or people, my boys are going to make fun of me if I move back in with my friends or my parents. So, are they paying your bills? Are they getting you financially ahead? Are they getting you out of debt? Are they helping you to buy your future home or future car or future anything? No. So who gives a fuck what they think? I wish more people understood that. Their judgment, their opinions, their laughing, their bullshit is not going to help or hurt you. It might hurt your feelings if you allow it to, but you can't be sad because you're doing smarter shit with your money. I had a friend, this is a story I'm going to tell real quick before I got to go, because I definitely got to go. I had a buddy at work, the place I work now. I had a friend, for years, he's called me Richenstein, because my last name's Rich, but usually when you have the last name like in Steen, it's usually like Bernstein or, I don't know, whatever. It usually means Jewish. He was doing it because he's trying to make fun of me and say I'm Jewish because he's saying that I'm being cheap. There's a huge difference between being cheap and being financially smart. financially wise. Being cheap is like somebody goes, hey, all of us are getting together. We're throwing you a birthday party. We're paying for everything, but you're going to have to drive yourself. And when you get there, it's like $10 parking. You got to pay the $10. Cheap would be to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't want to pay the $10. No, but we just said we're paying for everything else, like all your food, your party, everything. Everything's going to be paid for, taken care of. You just got to pay the parking. Nah, I'm not doing that. That's cheap. Or not wanting to run your fucking, your dishwasher because you don't want to spend for the electric bill. You have a dishwasher, but you don't want to run it. Or you have the you want to pee in the toilet and not flush it because you don't want to, the money it's going to cost to flush. That's cheap. Being financially smart is, I'm not going to go to a football game because it's going to cost me $200 when I can just sit at home and watch it and save my money. That's smart. That's not cheap. Cheap is when you don't want to spend anything because you're just scared to spend and you're just so desperate to gain, more money. I'm saying enjoy your life. Don't be cheap. You don't have to be cheap. I mean, if it's smarter at the time and people call you cheap, who gives? That was the point that I was getting at with the story. He was calling me Richenstein to basically say I was Jewish and I was being cheap. One, I'm not Jewish. Two, I don't think I'm cheap. I think I'm smart with my money. And now, looking back, this is like 10 years ago. Now looking back, that dude is in some serious financial struggle, and I'm doing just fine. So I'd gladly be Richenstein now. I'll gladly be the cheap guy that isn't worried about money instead of the guy that is making fun of people for being cheap and now I'm broke and I have nothing to show for it. Like, think about what is beneficial to you. What is smarter? What is smarter to you? Saving your money so you can take care of anything you want and not have to worry about money or worry about where you're going to get your next meal, or making fun of people that are smart about their money until you're broke and struggling. Which one's actually smarter? And I'll leave you guys with that. I love you guys, and I thank you for listening. I hope that this message hit somebody, man. I hope that it helps somebody. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, anything, if you have anything that you want to say to me about all this, please get a hold of me. You can do that through the Anchor app. You can leave me a voice message through there. You can get a hold of me on Twitter. It's Really Rich Adam. You can get a hold of me on Instagram at Really Rich Podcast. You can get a hold of me on Snapchat or YouTube at Really Rich. You can get a hold of me on LinkedIn. It's Adam Rich, founder and host of Really Rich Podcast. And you can get a hold of me on TikTok. The TikTok name is It's Adam Rich. I love you guys so much, and I thank you for listening. I pray to God I hope this helps somebody big time. And if you have any questions, anything, whether you think I'm right or wrong, please get a hold of me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.